Hello everybody and welcome to the deck of the weekend. Today on Monday, regular schedule, Mango is back talking about my most favorite format at the moment, the one that I play, the one I'm interested in. Let's kick things off with Modern, where this deck did well last week, and there was actually a lot of mill in the top 8s of this past weekend. Challenges on Magical Line with this list in particular from Medvedev playing 4 Extirpate and 4 Surgical Extraction, 0 copies of Tasha Zidius Lauther. The goal was to mill Crushing Footfalls or Living End and take all the copies out of the deck. You have Trapmaker's Nair, which is an additional copy of Archive Trap, a 2-mana Archive Trap if you want, to maximize the chances of milling cards from your deck to the graveyard. You even have Glimpse of the Unthinkable that mills 10 cards. So yeah, a very, very targeted list that wants to take these extraction effects. You know how much I dislike those extraction effects, but if you look at the top decks in the metagame, you have Amulet Titan, which mill is very good against. You have the Cascade decks, which I would say this particular build of mill is good against. And you have other combo decks. You have Extinction Event to exile all the creatures from Yawgmoth, and you have Leyline of Sanctity to edge against Burn and other decks that have you targeted, like Scam, for example. There's 2 copies of Undercity Sewers. These lands are simply amazing right now. There's lotting into every deck in Modern. You even see them in Legacy, in the blue-black Scaminator. That's doing very well in Legacy. Plays Undercity Sewer as well. Definitely required to pick up those surveillance if you play Paper Magic and need yeah, while they're cheap, I think, right now. Maybe they're not as cheap as they were when they came out, but this is definitely going to be a staple in the Fetchlands format. There's no Jace. That's not a card that used to be good in this deck, but I guess Medvedev decided it to be a little bit too slow. I think overall, Mill I don't think Mill was very good against Rhinos, but basically this particular build is. Mill is definitely not great against Murktide, but now Murktide is definitely less of that. Converted mana cost is high, so you don't see Tasha's Reduce Lauther, which used to be insane at some point in Modern, but I guess now it's not even that good anymore. And Trapmaker's Nair is a card that you see here and there in Mill's list, and it's cool to see it here. There was not that many Rhinos deck this weekend, by the way. If last week I made the power rankings for Channel Fireball and I called for bans, this week actually the Magical and meta balanced. It was nice to see. So I look forward to see what happens this weekend at Four Seasons. I will for sure go at Four Seasons. So if you're going there as well, I'll see you there. On Friday I'll play Team Trios. I'll be playing Modern. On Saturday there's the Modern main event. And on Sunday, there's the Legacy main event. Actually, for the Legacy main event, I'll be bringing the equipment from Mango's Workshop. Me and my editor, Tommy, we're gonna set up together with the Four Seasons organizers. We set up additional coverage table. I'll be recording all my videos, and then I'll be doing a voiceover commentary editing after. So it's going to be a lot of work. In fact, on Saturday I may not be able to join the Modern main event. But regardless of that, it will be super cool, and yeah, if you're there, I'm definitely super excited for a weekend of Magic. And by the way, on the Mango's Workshop today, there is a Pauper video coming out, so the Pauper lovers have loved the last paper gameplay, so make sure to check that out. Speaking of Pauper, this past weekend there was the Pauper Qualifier, which was a very, very large event that was won by Blue White Glitters playing for Novice Inspector. Novice Inspector is fantastic. I mean, as I said, when this card came out, like, Thraben Inspector was one of the best cards in Pauper, and now you just have an additional 4 copies of it. So every deck that used to play for Thraben Inspector, like Blue White Glitters, will definitely try to play for Novice, and they have done well. Again, this deck took the PTQ down. Unclear, if you should splash or not red. I really enjoyed splashing red for Galvanic Blast in this archetype. This deck in particular, the cards that were cut was Frogmite. Remember cutting Ginger Brute in my deck? But here it was kept Frogmite. There's even Pyrexian Walker, which is just a 0 mana 0/3 with a lot of flavor text. Now you have more humans. You have also non-humans, of course, to trigger up one mind. Although I would say that there is also Gingerbrute, Ornithopter, so there's a lot of non-humans. Of one mind is very good here. Moon Circuit Acker, still not cut actually. 4 copies of this card. The mana base is additional islands to be more solid against the decks that want to destroy your land, or maybe the decks that do some yeah, just Dust to Dust and Gorilla Shaman, actually very good against this deck with a lot of with 8 artifact lands that can destroy by that. This list doesn't have the classic 4/4/4/3 sideboard with 4 Crimson, 4 Obsidian Acolyte, and 3 Standard Bearer. It has a little bit more diversity with Dust to Dust and Hydroblast. So I like to see that too. Let's go over to Legacy here, where there was a very, very strange deck that came in top 8 of the Legacy qualifier. It's playing a new card that has been added. It's not a new card in paper, but it's a new card to Magic Online, which is a Chaos Defiler. So now Chaos Defiler is a 5 mana Vindicate on ATB. 5 mana 5/4. Very weird worded, but basically says whenever it comes into play, when it dies, it destroys a permanent. And you have Goblin Welder to kind of go off with it. This deck has a combo in it, and this deck seems like Painter, but it actually doesn't play Painter. It doesn't play Painter Grindstone. It plays Pyrexian Devourer. This is a 6 mana card that says, it's a 6 mana 1/1 that says exile top card of your library, put an X+1/+1 counter on it, where X is exile mana value. So if you go Global Engineer, or you discard to Fable the Pyrexian Devourer, you can then exile it with the Agatha Soul Cauldron, target any creatures, which can be, Orcish Bowmaster, Broadside Bombardiers, and whatnot. And then basically, like, when that creature gets through, you can just pump it to the infinite and kill them. Or if you also have Walking Ballista, you don't even need to attack. You just kill them with the Walking Ballista plus Pyrexian Devourer combo. So you have that little Agatha Soul Cauldron combination, which is something I have never seen before. Maybe it went around already, but I guess I just missed it. I was focusing a lot on Pioneer and I missed it. But it's not that this deck is anything new. I mean, Birthday Bombardiers is relatively new. This card is seeing a lot of plays in Legacy. Also in the Turbo deck, Turbo Goblins with Muxus and the Namesticker Goblin. This card is just a great hard to power out with an Ancient Tomb Lotus Petal. You play it on turn 1 and then deals you damage, and then you can just sacrifice an artifact and kill something. So, it does a lot. Of course, it's a Fable deck. Of course, it's a Goblin Welder deck and whatnot. So, yeah, congrats to Adam, which is this is, it's kind of strange to innovate in Legacy with a card that hasn't even been. It's not. It is not nothing new here. Chaos Defiler has been printed last summer, but again, it's new because it just got added to Magic Online alongside the Triumph of Saint Catherine and a few other things. So yeah, this is the definitely my Legacy deck of the weekend. Although I have to mention Blue Black Scaminator. This deck is the most popular deck right now in the Legacy. Came out of nowhere. It used to be Blue Black Scam, and now they added Entomb and Animate Dead with 1 Atraxa and 1 Archon of Cruelty, adding that combo angle to a deck that was a mid-range deck. This is definitely my front runner for the 4 seasons. And again, if you're interested in Legacy and you're interested in watching paper gameplay, tune in this weekend for the 4 seasons. They have coverage. I'll be recording all my matches as well. Hopefully, I can do a diff run, and I can show you as much Magic as I can on the Mango's Workshop. I'm a lot of excited to go back to work after the week off that I went to Chicago for the Pro Tour. If you enjoyed the deck of the weekend, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you next Monday to do a wrap up. No, how wrap up? Just overall view of what happened over at 4th season. Thank you and have a good day.